Hi, everybody. My name is Philip Ma, and I am an attorney here in Orange County, California. I would like to take a few minutes to talk to you about the stimulus checks that were part of the CARES Act relief package of 2020. As many of you know, a few weeks ago, Congress enacted and passed and rolled out the 2020 CARES Act relief package totaling about $2.2 trillion in its effort to help the U.S. economy during this coronavirus-induced economic downturn. Again, part of the relief package are these stimulus checks. What are these? Well, the IRS is issuing payments to basically everybody who qualifies, who is under a certain adjusted gross income level. And if you qualify under this income level, you get this basically free emergency relief money called stimulus checks. They come via paper mail or more than likely direct deposited into your account. Many of you may have already received these checks. Some of you are still waiting for these checks, but I'm here to talk about the checks, how one is qualified for it, and if there are any tips, which there are, to get them if you may not be qualified for them initially. Okay? Now, how much do you get for these stimulus checks? Let me pull up a slide for you. In essence, if you are an individual and you earn less than $75,000 per year, you get the full amount, which is $1,200. If you are a husband and wife who files a joint tax return and your combined adjusted gross income is $150,000 or less, then you get the full $2,400. If you are a husband and wife and you have dependents, kids, 16 years or under, each child gets $500. So, if you are a family of 4, you are a husband, a wife with 2 children, 16 and under, then you get, in essence, $2,400 plus $500 for each child, $3,400 total. Okay? Now, a few things I want to point out. Oh, by the way, if you are a head of household, which some of you might be, and your adjusted gross income is $112,500 or less, you also get $1,200, the full amount. Now, if your income is higher than these levels, then you still get some, but they sort of get tapered off. If you are a family of 4 and you make $150,000, or you make more than $150,000, then you get a little bit less as your income rises. But if you make more than $200,000, then you no longer qualify. For the individual, if you make more than $75,000, you still get the stimulus check, but it decreases as your income increases to the point where you make $99,000 or more, it's gone. Okay? So, a couple things, a couple criteria. How does the IRS determine your income? How is it that the government determines how much you make, or if you make this amount in order to qualify for the checks? Well, the IRS looks at your tax returns. So, if you filed 2019 tax returns, and on your 2019 tax returns you make, as a family, $150,000 or less, you should be getting your stimulus checks very soon if you have not already. If you have not filed your 2019 tax returns yet, then the IRS will look at your 2018 tax returns. And again, if you make less than $150,000 as a family or $75,000 as an individual, you also most likely will be getting your stimulus checks if you have not already. Okay. Now, a few tips that I want to point out, a few caveats in this rule, okay? If you make in 2018 less than $150,000. However, in 2019, you know or believe you will make more than $150,000 as a family, but you have not yet filed your 2019 tax return, don't file it yet. Hold off until after you receive your stimulus check money. Because again, the rule is the IRS looks at your tax returns. If you do not have a 2019 tax return, the IRS will look at your 2018 tax returns. So long as in 2018 you make less than $150,000 as a family or $75,000 as an individual, you will get your stimulus check money. Once you receive your check, go ahead and file your 2019 tax returns. But hold off if you think you're gonna make more in 2019. The flip side is true, which is this: if in 2018 you made more than $150,000, however, in 2019 you believe you will make less than $150,000 as a family, then what do? File your tax returns as soon as possible. Because as soon as you file your 2019 tax returns, you'll be eligible for the full stimulus checks. Okay? So if you make more than $150,000 in 2018, but you made less in 2019, go ahead and file your tax returns. However, if it's the reverse, which is you made more in 2019 than you did in 2018, then maybe you should hold off filing your tax returns. Now, here's the problem with some of us, which is this: what if I made more $150,000 in 2018 and 2019, and I already filed my tax returns? What do? Do I have any chance of getting anything else? Well, if in 2020 you feel and you think that you will be making less than $150,000, then what will happen is when you file your 2020 tax returns in 2021, you will still get your stimulus check money. So as a family of 4, if you in 2021 file your 2020 tax returns and you make less than $150,000, you will still get that full, whatever it is, $2,400 or $3,400, depending on your family situation. So that's good. However, obviously, if you want the money now, it'd be hard to get it now. Okay, you have to wait till 2021. Now, let me say this. Remember, the income, and let me go back to the previous slide here. The income that the IRS looks at, the number that the IRS looks at is your adjusted gross income. This is not always the same as your total income. Your total income could be higher than your adjusted gross income. Okay? Your adjusted gross income usually takes certain tax deductions into account. Okay? Which means if your adjusted gross income is, say, $160,000, a little bit above the 150, it might not hurt to talk again with your tax preparer, to talk again with your CPA, to talk again to your accountant, the person who does your taxes, and see if there are any other deductions that they can take in order to bring it down to $150,000. It wouldn't hurt to try. Okay? But again, the IRS looks at your adjusted gross income, which is not always the same as your total income. All right. Let me say one more thing before we end here, and that is this. What if you are a 21-year-old, okay, son or daughter, 21 years old, works full-time, lives on your own, okay, supports yourself, and you're sitting around waiting for your $1,200 check to come, and it hasn't come, okay? And you're wondering, hey, how come, where is my $1,200 check? How come I don't have it? Okay? You might want to ask your parents, because if your parents still claim you as a dependent on their tax return, you get no money. Not only do you not get $1,200, your parents, if you're over 16, don't get the $500. So if you're in this no man's land of a person who is above 16 years old but still being claimed as a dependent, you get no money, and your parents don't get their $500 either. So what do? You might want to have a conversation with your parents to see if there's a way for them to talk to their tax preparer and make you an independent. Because if you become an independent, okay, and you support yourself, then you qualify for the $1,200. Okay, so, and that's it for the stimulus check. I hope this information was helpful. My name is Philip Ma. Thank you for watching. See you next time.